Hammond City Council Public Hearing Agenda, January 9th, 2024, 5:30 p.m. Roll call, please.
Councilman Wells.
Here.
Councilman DiViterio.
Here.
Councilwoman Gonzalez.
Present.
Councilman Leon.
Present.
Councilman Andrews.
Present. Public hearing item number 1.
An ordinance proposing an election to determine amendments to the City of Hammond Home Rule Charter, providing for the City Council authority to remove the police chief and otherwise providing with respect thereto. Councilman Andrews.
Again, this is just another option that's being presented as we're going through this process. As I stated earlier, when we first started looking at changes, even with the election side of it, when I started out sending in information on that, the beginning part of my email was stated this way, that if the election went through, or if it didn't go through, we still need to look at other options of change. If this doesn't go through, we still need to look at another option of change, of something to put in place. Let me say this here because of the wrong information that's being spread about throughout the community. In no way am I sitting up here trying to take anybody's job away from them. I want to get that crystal clear and straight. From the ad that was ran in the news, Daily Star newspaper, talking about some bad blood. There's no bad blood here with me at all. The only thing that I'm doing is sitting in a position trying to make a good decision for the betterment of the city. That's why I stand on the issue. In no way I'm here trying to take anyone's job away. I'm looking at trying to make the situation of things better moving forward. I'm not going backwards. I'm going forward to try to make some progression here in the city. So therefore, this is why this particular item was brought forth. And again, like all other items that we discussed for discussion, to see if we can move forward in making this process better. Anyone have any questions or comments from the audience or anyone from the council? Hammond City Council regular session agenda, January 9th, 2024, 5:32 p.m. Roll call, please.
Councilwoman Gonzalez.
Present.
Councilman DiViterio.
Present.
Councilman Andrews.
Present.
Councilman Wells.
Present.
Councilman Leon.
Present.
Stand for our prayer. Most gracious, love, eternal Heavenly Father, we just thank you right now. We just give you glory, we give you honor, we give you praise that is due your name on tonight, dear Heavenly Father. We thank you for this first meeting of the year right now, dear Heavenly Father. We offer it up to you as a sacrifice right now, Father God, that you continue to bless our city, continue to bless our meetings to come down the year. We just thank you right now for what you've done and what you're going to continue to do. I ask you to continue to bless this council, bless their families, bless their districts that they represent. We ask you to continue to bless our city, our administration, our mayor, continue to bless our fire department and our police department that they continue to protect and serve us. We ask that you continue to bless and cover all of our city employees. We thank you, Heavenly Father, that everything this evening will be done decent order, pleasing in your sight. Therefore, you will get all glory, all honor, and all praise. It belongs to you. In Jesus' name we pray. Amen. At this time, for our Pledge of Allegiance, I ask that all veterans and active military please render the proper salute. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Next item on our agenda is up to our election, the election of the president to serve as president of the council for 2024.
Make a motion to elect Skip Andrews as president.
Second.
Councilman Leon.
Aye.
Councilman Wells.
Aye.
Councilman Andrews.
Aye.
Councilman DiViterio.
Aye.
Councilwoman Gonzalez.
Aye.
The election of vice president for the city council of 2024.
I make a motion to
To
elect
elect Sam DeVentura.
I made a motion to elect Twilly Gonzalez.
So we're gonna start this already. You can go with the guy on the end.
Thanks for your respect, Councilman. The guy on the end. I appreciate that.
All right.
Councilman Divatario?
No.
Councilwoman Gonzalez?
Aye.
Councilman Leon?
Aye.
Councilman Andrews?
Aye.
Councilman Wells?
No.
Approval of our minutes from our December 12th, 2023 meeting.
Make a motion to approve the minutes?
Second.
Councilman Divatario?
Aye.
Councilwoman Gonzalez?
Aye.
Councilman Andrews?
Aye.
Councilman Wells?
Aye, but let me say this for the record. I'm not gonna put up with what I put up with last year. I'm gonna give you respect, I'm gonna ask for respect. And that's what I mean. I'm not gonna do that this year. I come in here with a different agenda. I'm gonna respect everyone that come up here and everyone that sit up here. When I come through the door, I said Happy New Year's, and I mean that. But my New Year's gonna be good. But God knows, as long as I'm sitting up here, you're gonna respect me. And if you don't respect me, now we're gonna take the police department and start coming to these meetings. And I mean that.
Councilman Leon?
Aye.
All right. Final adoption of an ordinance. Number 1.
Final adoption of an ordinance proposing an election to determine amendment to the City of Hammond Home Rule Charter, providing for the City Council authority to remove the police chief and otherwise providing with respect thereto. Councilman Andrews.
As I stated in the public hearing, this is just another option that is being presented before our board to make any changes, anything that we need to make going forward toward our charter. Anyone from the public that would like to speak on this matter? Or anyone from the council?
Just raise the issue that I previously brought up of making it a 2/3 vote, so it requires 4. But there was no discussion of that last time. I have received a couple of constituents who don't like this idea. I think it's there's separation of powers for a reason. We have a strong mayor form of government for a reason, and I agree with those thoughts. So, but again, I'll just bring up the idea of having a 2/3 majority if this were to go to the ballot.
Well, thank you for that. Also, in my district, I got a lot of phone calls and a lot of conversation that since the mayor haven't made a move on everything that took place in the city of Hammond due to the chief, they said they like the idea that we are trying to do something and moving forward of doing this here. So, thank you so much.
People in my district, constituents that I've talked to, just think that this is a bad idea.
Concerns in my district about, that they need a change, and we need some more accountability that is absent right now. And, they seem to like it, so.
Overall city response in everyone's district seems to think that the chief is doing a good job, and he should remain in place. There's no reason to get rid of someone who's doing a good job because of personal issues with other folks. I think he's doing a great job for the city of Hammond. He's out there, he's in the community, he's with the officers, he's progressive, and I totally support the chief.
And this is actually putting it to the ballots, bringing it to the ballot so that people can vote and give them the right to vote and and make their decision. So, well, we'll see, you know, if it gets there, we'll see what they feel.
And again, like I stated earlier during the beginning of this process, in no way am I here to have anybody fired or removed from their job. It's not my take on this position at all. I just want to be clear on that. So, again, I teach civics out at Hammond High, and I teach the part of government of democracy, while I've been teaching my students on the right to vote, to voice their opinion. So it would be crazy to me to teach them one thing and try to do the opposite. So again, this item will go before the people, and if they decide, fine. If they don't, but when we started this, even with the talking about the election point, you know, people would say that, you know, if you do the election, it could be corrupt. It could be this, but you vote for a sheriff, you vote for a marshal, you vote for everything else. So, you know, I really don't understand the back and forth on things when, you know, there's been an amendment that was made to the Constitution for it to be changed. So, again.
There's a proposal
Right.
for the people to voice their opinion and vote. So they still have the right to vote.
Is there anyone from the public again that would like to speak on this matter? Okay. All right, pleasure of the council.
I make a motion to approve.
Second.
Councilman Divatario,
Aye.
Councilman Leon,
No.
Councilman Wells,
Aye.
Councilman Andrews,
Aye.
Councilwoman Gonzalez.
No.
Introduction of an ordinance number 1.
Introduction of an ordinance to approve an annexation request by James Marshall, Z-2023-10-00128, to annex 0.747 acres located on Tranquil Trace per survey by Max Bowden, Inc., dated 10/5/23, to be zoned RM-2, District 4. Recommended approval by the Zoning Commission. Andre Kudray.
Yes, Council, Lacey's been delayed in travel, so she asked me to cover for her and present this item. This is an item that deals with a request for an annexation by the property owner into the city. It's met all the requirements for annexation. In connection with an annexation, the council is called upon to determine what zoning would apply to this property. It went before the Planning Commission. The Planning Commission recommended a zoning of RM2, and that was because the property adjoining it, some of the property is unzoned, it's in the parish that adjoins this. The property that's within the city that adjoins this is zoned RM2, although the actual use of the property is single-family dwelling. So when this came up previous on your agenda. It was tabled for more discussion, more review of it. And insofar as the zoning, the discussion was to actually bring this in as a single-family zoning, RS5. And the owner was contacted, it was discussed, and the owner was okay with it coming in as an RS5 zoning. So that's consistent with the zoning that's next door with the other neighbors. And that's what the neighbors were concerned about, that the RM2 zoning, even though it's similar to the single-family zoning, would allow for multifamily zoning on this property. So I would suggest, this is for introduction only. It would come back up if it's introduced next meeting for a public hearing, but it needs to be advertised. So if the mood of the council, and this is in Councilman District 4, if the mood of the council is to have it to come in as a RS5 residential zoning, then I would recommend that when it comes up for a vote, that it not be recommended for zoning RM2, but it the zoning be RS5 zone.
Yeah, and that's in my district, and, you know, the people that are fine with that zoning there. The concerns were the single families. They wanted to make sure that was covered. And so, yeah, that's good, yeah, to introduce. So, you're saying we just make the amendment now to introduce it, or?
You can, I mean,
Or-
there's multiple, you could amend the agenda to provide that this would come in as an RS5 zoning. So instead of the zoning being RM2, that you recommend, if you would, that it be amended, that the zoning come in as RS5 zoning.
Yeah.
Is there anyone here from the public on this matter? Any other questions from anyone on the council? I make a motion to go ahead and amend this introduction of ordinance
RS5.
to RS5.
Second.
Councilman Divatario.
Aye.
Councilman Wells.
Aye.
Councilwoman Gonzalez.
Aye.
Councilman Leon.
Aye.
Councilman Andrews.
Aye.
Public hearing will be January 23rd, 2024.
Well, we have to vote. That
Vote,
would
yeah.
amend the.
Yes,
Oh.
Yeah.
okay. I make a motion to introduce.
Second.
Councilman Divatario.
Aye.
Councilman Leon.
Aye.
Councilman Wells.
Aye.
Councilwoman Gonzalez.
Aye.
Councilman Andrews.
Aye.
Public hearing will be January 23rd, 2024.
Resolution number 1.
A resolution to approve Walk-Ons Sports Bistro located at 305 C.M. Fagan Drive, Hammond, Louisiana, 70403, to obtain an alcohol permit for a restaurant. The owner is Go Eat Hammond LLC. Pete?
This is ownership change, this is walk-ons. The new owner has done everything that we've asked and had met all the requirements to receive the alcohol permit. And he's actually here, Mr. Jose Saint Romain. If you want to step up, please, sir.
Give us your name and address, please.
Jose San Roman, 305 CM Fagan Drive, Hammond 70403.
Is your menu gonna change?
Eventually, probably. You know, right now we're introducing some new things, so we change it every couple months.
It's still gonna be walk-ons,
It's
though.
still gonna be walking.
Okay.
Yeah.
Anyone from the public have any questions or concerns on this item? Anyone else from the council? Pleasure of the council.
Motion to approve.
Second.
Councilwoman Gonzalez.
Aye.
Aye.
Councilman Leon.
Aye.
Councilman Wells.
Aye.
Councilman Divatario.
Aye.
Councilman Andrews.
Aye. Thank you, sir.
Good luck.
Resolution number 2.
A resolution to approve the mayor to enter into contract with Micon Services, Inc. to repair the second roundabout located south of I-12 for the total amount of $31,875. Mayor?
This is the roundabout. The bricks have been damaged from a prior wreck. Been a good while now. We had 5 proposals. Micon Services came in as a low bidder, and we request that you approve this so we can get that started and finished up. Looking good by the interstate.
That's the one past the bridge? Okay.
Mayor, this one's been busted up for a little while, right? When people do that, does that, and we have to pay for it? Do
We try to get insurance to take care of it, but
Can their insurance cover? Like they're saying sometimes you make a claim against the people who caused the wreck? I got it.
correct. Yes, ma'am.
I remember I asked about it a couple years back, a couple of other ones. I think they got damaged. I think, did they ever, the insurance pay for those, or did we have to pay for that other one that got damaged? Or is this more insurance money involved in this, or is it just the 31,000? Or I guess the insurance
This
is
is the
big.
total cost of the repair.
Oh, okay, so the insurance, I guess, they're not taking care of any of it?
As far as I know, no.
Okay, all right, yeah.
I got one question.
Yes, sir.
Mr. Mayor, is there any way that we can kind of switch this here plan out? Because what I'm seeing, I don't want to call it name out. I know somebody had ran into it before and had a wreck. Because what I'm saying is,
Talking about switch the way it looks.
yeah, I'm talking about, you know, where it won't cost so much money, that we can do more landscaping than doing the bricks itself.
I don't know how it would look, but we could put some bollards to where they could possibly hit a bollard. I don't think it would look as good, but
Yeah.
there's always a possibility of changing.
Yeah, because I'm saying, because even on Airport Road, and I'm quite sure you notice all the times, at least once a month, somebody's going across there or tearing it up.
Roundabout on Old
Yes.
Covington,
On Airport Road,
right?
yeah.
Old Covington and Airport Road. You're talking about the roundabout.
Yeah, the roundabout, yeah, because I noticed that, you know, it just have the plants there. And I noticed, you know, they'll tear a few trees down, end up in the woods or whatever. Because I know by the mall, we want it to look good, but we can't keep eating other people's costs, especially if we can't make the insurance company pay for it.
Well, generally they do, so I can follow up on that as well and see if, what was actually received, if any.
All right, thank you.
Yes, sir.
Thank you.
Anyone else from the public? Pleasure of the council.
Make a motion to approve.
Second.
Councilwoman Gonzalez,
Aye.
Councilman Leon,
Aye.
Councilman Wells,
Aye.
Councilman Divatario,
Aye.
Councilman Andrews.
Aye. All right, reports, Mayor?
Happy New Year to everyone. Hopefully we have a safe year. Looks like the cold weather's starting to move in, and just all the lights are coming up from Christmas, and we're moving on to getting back to repairs and taking care of city business.
Any council reports?
Wish everybody certainly a happy new year, and I'd like to congratulate Councilman Andrews and Councilwoman Gonzalez on their election tonight. And I pray that as we move forward this year, that this council as a whole will treat the public, the city employees, and the administration and each other with the respect that they deserve.
Any other council reports? All right, just want
Yeah.
to.
Oh, I'm sorry, no,
Go
go,
ahead.
go.
You can go ahead.
Go.
I just want to remind everyone of MLK Day, Monday, being Martin Luther King Park. I think the festivities in the park start around about noon that day. And the council has been invited to come out as usual.
Mr. Andre, what's the next step for the election for the charter change?
Yes, sir. So the next step is you've got to get bond commission approval for that, only because the law requires any election for a vote. So there's a new treasurer, and the bond commission has not set its meeting dates yet for the year, but I will contact their office to find out when there's a meeting in January, and that's it. There's no future meeting scheduled. I'll contact their office. I'll find out what their meeting time is, get us on the agenda for that, and at the same time communicate with the Secretary of State's office about the ballot. The next election would be really the April 27th municipal general election, because we've missed the deadlines for the March 23rd. So it'll be the April 27th election. That would be the earliest it could be on a vote. And that's a general municipal election, which would expect to have other general items that come in, municipal elections or any other items that other municipalities might want to put on that ballot.
Okay, thank you. And another question also, I had requested the video of the Lionel Jackson shooting, and I haven't received anything, nobody talking to me, so what do I need to do, and what's the next step that I need to
Yes, sir.
take?
So I responded to your email and invited your call to me to discuss it with you. That matter is still under criminal case and pending, and investigations pending. So it's not a public record yet until that is concluded.
Okay. And thank you for saying that, because that's what I need to know, because in the community, they started asking me about the video, about the body cam, and I know we spent too much money as a taxpayer on these here cameras, and yet there's nothing being said or nothing being provided. So what I am gonna do, and I'm gonna ask, is I'm gonna do a request on how we can get these videos out, because what I'm looking at, other states, they getting these videos out within 45 days. Still, an investigation still taking place, but what they trying to do, let the public know that they have nothing to hide, and that's when the videos come out, they letting the public know we have nothing to hide. We just want the public to see what's taking place or what done took place, and so it's not nothing that gonna hurt the investigation. So I just want to say that for the record, and like Steve Leon just said, and I thank him for saying that I definitely want to work with everybody. But District 3 have a lot of problems. So you can't expect me to come up here and be quiet when I know all the issues that's taking place. And one of the things keep coming up, and I'm hearing it a whole lot, this for the homeless. And Mr. Charlie here, Mr. Charlie, he here, and he want to speak on it, on the homeless shelter, because we keep hearing about it, and it's sad to say I'm a city councilman, and I can't even tell the community or the people what's going on.
How you doing? Charlie Salino, 42254 East I-55 Service Road. Just a concerned citizen, no disrespect to anybody. The North Shore Homeless Coalition has bought the property across from us, paid a pretty good bid for it, which I respect them for that. But at the end of the day, I'm worried about what it's going to turn into for the community and for the area and the neighborhood. There's no good answer about anything on this situation, and I'd just like to have y'all's opinions and make sure that y'all look at it and continue on through and seeing its best interest for the community there. I just worry about the situation of people walking up and down, safety issues of them walking up and down, going to other businesses, breaking into things. I know y'all say that's not going to happen, that it's going to be ran, but we don't know that yet. Trying to cut it off to save, it's the entrance to the Hammond, City of Hammond entrance. Coming from New Orleans is the first thing that you're going to see. And I just think it's something that y'all need to really look at to see if it's really worthwhile and how it's going to be ran. I don't know all the particulars. Y'all can probably dig into it and get more than that. Maybe we need to be shared and let people know about more of the stuff. But just like this, just like to throw that at y'all to see what's in the first stages of being told out there, whatever to see. I don't know if there's any permits pulled or any of that. Don't know all that stuff. But that's why I just wanted to bring it to y'all and let y'all go on from there and see what y'all can do to check into it and make it best for the community and for the city.
Well, thank you. I haven't heard anything from administration regarding this issue. I did propose a moratorium a while back, and this was in the moratorium, and I had support, of Councilman Wells and Andrews on this, and it was vetoed, and Councilman Gonzalez and Leon was opposing it as well. But these are prime reasons why a moratorium to get in place to look at things and really figure out what's really going on. So if there is one coming, it wasn't. I'm the councilman of that district. I don't think I wasn't aware of it. Has that been notified to the city yet that it is coming, or is something going on?
Tony Jackson, local individual who's been a part of this, affiliated with this company out of St. Tammany, apparently, has put out there to the council members, from what I understand. Robbie Miller and I was together today going to New Orleans for a regional planning commission. He was invited, I was invited, and I'm not sure who else was invited to a January 19th meeting for an update of what they plan on doing. I had mentioned to Tony about parking, because we have people that own property that is right on top of their property, so they're supposed to explain that. Andre, have you heard anything about this?
No, I haven't heard anything specifically about the parking.
But they have pulled no permits. I found out the end of last week, calling our local closing title company, that it was closed on about 3 weeks ago with grant money, apparently, and I'm not sure if the company put their own money in as well. But what Robbie and I know is that there will be a meeting, and you're all welcome to come to that meeting. I'll make sure that I get back in touch with Tony and ask her to reach out to each and every one of you. There are a lot of concerns, and she knows we have a lot of concerns about this.
I mean, I do think it's pretty important, at least, moving on from here, that, the councilmen of the districts that, that these big operations are coming in. I mean, I really think that they need to be notified, when something like this is coming about, immediately. It's important, each councilman and woman represents a district, and it's as important for them to know what's going on for whenever things like this come about in the community, and they're representing them people. So I don't understand how that have even gotten this far with not. I wasn't. Nobody reached out to me about this homeless shelter. Didn't hear about it from the administration, and it blows my mind that the administration and the mayor, if it's something this big, wouldn't have. Somebody would not have known about it several months ago. I mean, that's a big investment. You would think they would reach out to the city about it and discuss something and kind of see what's going on before they dive in and make that big of an investment. So, and if that was, I'm not saying it did or didn't, but I'm letting you know right now, I don't know if we need to make an ordinance to put on the table, but I really do think good government and good bodies would, administration and transparency to the council, they need to know what's going on in their districts when something like this comes about. It's not digging a ditch. It's not, putting a stop sign up or whatever. It's, that's a big undertaking there for a city. And so, I think it's pretty important to kind of be involved from the get-go on that. So
My first conversation with her was calling her Friday. She returned my call, and I asked her, we have owners that are around that property that border it that pretty much restrict them from entering their parking area. What was her plans with parking? Because our building official knew nothing about this as well. And she seemed to think that they had parking in the rear. I said, was this parking already permanently in place, or do you have to put this in place? Did you already purchase this property? And apparently, yes, 3 or 4 weeks ago for $4 million, whatever. So that's what we know so far. And she said she sent out an email after that about going to a January 19th meeting to give us what their plans are to do there. But they have not been to the permit office, nor this is pretty much the beginning of conversation. So I'll make sure she knows that she needs to get in touch with each and every one of you. I thought she had even given you emails as well.
No, she did come to my house one time, and she was talking about it, but that's when the moratorium was in place, and that's when right in the middle, I think, it slipped through the crack like always. So that was one of the things that was slipped through the crack. But in the meantime, the way she talked to me and the package that she gave me, it sounded like they got it together. But I was in New Orleans Thursday, and I'm looking at all the tents up under the overpass. In the meantime, New Orleans is cleaning their areas up. They putting the people in the houses, and I'm saying, which when I going to New Orleans, I went that way. Coming back, I come that way. And I'm saying, if New Orleans putting everybody out, even Gulfport, Mississippi, they actually taking the homeless people to Alabama. And New Orleans, eventually, they gonna bring them to Hammond. So, and even about the library right across the street. Saw 3 people sleeping over there the other day, had 1 sleeping over there last night. And I'm saying this here, we do have an issue, but in the meantime, we're gonna have a bigger problem. And Villa West, they're gonna end up being in Villa West. They're gonna end up in District 3, because we got a food bank, we got a major problem there. Today, almost had an accident today, right there where the food bank is. So we have a lot of issues that's going on, but we can't create another issue. We know we got a problem. We need to get to the problem before it get out of hand. In the process of having that meeting January the 19th, where the meeting supposed to take place at?
The hotel, I believe.
Over there?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. So as a councilman, as the citizen, we definitely need to let the citizen know, because as a councilman, you can see we can only say so much and do so much, but far as I'm looking for Villa West to really have an impact on this here shelter, because, and I tell, Councilwoman Gonzalez, we shared this here a long time ago, where I shared it with her. If somebody from my district keep walking through her district, going to the park, eventually somebody gonna pick up something that they don't supposed to. So if you have a park in my district, they have no reason to leave my district going to another park. And I've been asking about the park for the longest, that everything you have in every district should share the same thing and have the same thing to keep the people in that community if they want to be in that community. And that's what I'm afraid of, you know. So communication, we definitely need to talk. The plans sound good when somebody talking about it, but yet will they be there to stress it and push it? Now we're looking at law enforcement. How long law enforcement is gonna be there? So now we're creating jobs for people, but look what we're gonna have to deal with. And that's one of the concerns Mr. Charlie was having, that from the business, from them having a business over there to all the business, from Circle K to Racetrack, Valero, from Albertson, Save a Lot, them business gonna catch hell. And that's all I can say. Cause a homeless person, if I'm hungry, if I want something, I'm going to eat. And I don't care what nobody say. And we know we're gonna have an issue. So we really need to look on how much this gonna affect Hammond. No, they're not gonna go out to the airport. They're not gonna disturb nobody out there. But they're gonna disturb people within a 1 mile or 2 mile radius. And we already got an issue with buggies, with carts. Now look, all them carts finna go up and down that road. And we know the problem. But we need to sit down as elected officials and let the community know what's going on. We got the trouble that we got out there on 190. Mr. Sal talk about it all the time, the buggies, the people sleeping under the bridge. So we definitely need to stay on top of this, and it'd be too late to talk about it once everything passed. So I heard you say about grant money, and you hear me say this all the time, all grant money ain't good money. Thank you.
No, no, and I just, that's a big deal there, and I just find it, is it zoned for that right now, or what does the zoning fall under?
My understanding is that you can't separate, and I don't know, this is going to be part of the legal battle I would think is going to be coming up, a hotel from homeless housing.
Yeah, if an application comes in and it meets all the rules and requirements, it's going to be difficult to deny it.
So the zoning, what the homeless shelter? Okay, all right. Okay, yeah. But yeah, I mean it's then when they release where they're gonna go, all those questions. That's another reason why the moratorium is in place, to address some of these issues that take time to figure out before you have somebody that has no limitations and they can go ahead and get permits for whatever they want to do, and then we the people. And the people in the district community have to deal with the problems that were not thought out or planned for. Or sometimes those decisions take a while. So that's what you do. Now, that's just what it is. But we it's a shame, but we'll see.
So now, in other words, they have to go to planning and zoning and start a process there.
Depends on what
my
they're asking
understanding.
for. It sounds like the January 19th meeting is a good place for all the questions.
Yeah.
Figure out what they're going to do, what their operation is.
If they don't have any variances or anything, then it wouldn't come to us, you know, if they don't have, if
Just
it
go
all
ahead and do what they
within,
want.
if it all is zoned correctly for it, you know,
Okay.
so.
Okay, I got another gentleman in the audience, would like to speak.
Hello, everybody. My name's Gary Ricotta. Me and my family's been here since the beginning, before it was Hammond. I'm the landowner next to this proposed halfway house, homeless shelter, whatever it is. As my elected officials, I ask each and every one of you, how could y'all not know? I keep hearing, I don't know. So somebody can come to our town and open up a facility without any of my elected officials knowing? Our public attorney not knowing? I am very confused. This ordinance Mr. Sams brought up 10 times, I pulled it. This would have stopped that, and we could have had time to talk about it. I don't think it's funny, Mr. Leon. It's not funny at all, sir. I think it's very disrespectful to the landowners, your citizens who actually elect you and pay you. I employ 23 people at Big Wheel Diesel and Record. I just made a major investment. I bought out all the Nucio and the Paracone property to make another investment to sell trucks at a dealership, probably employing another 15. I own 11 acres in St. Tammany. I am very much considering moving my operation there. I know you don't care about 23 taxpayers, 23 salaries, but I will pull them if this becomes a cesspool. Where do you drop the homeless now? We all know. The chief of police says you bring them to New Orleans or Baton Rouge, where they choose to go. So when this homeless shelter opens in our city, where are they going to be dropped, ladies and gentlemen? Where? They're going to be dropped in our backyard. The end of Hammond doesn't affect y'all, so y'all won't see it. But it will affect us. And Mr. Wells, you're absolutely right. Have you ever been to the old Vallejo, now Circle K? Any of you? Go fill up and try to walk to the front door. The panhandlers are there. You can't even get to the door without being asked for $1. It's disgusting. Y'all don't police the area because it's the end of the city. It's out of sight, out of mind. It's 4 businesses. 4 businesses on the other side of the bypass for I-12. We count. My taxes count. I count. And if I'd have known this was coming by my elected officials, I would have not made the purchase that I made on the property. I am very aggravated, very disappointed in the administration and my elected officials in the operation of this city right now. Y'all need to go to the other end. Y'all had to annex it because I voted against it. I was outvoted. I didn't want to be annexed because of this. I would have had a little more input from the parish, but it seems this city is concerned about their own, and I'm very disappointed. I have blood, sweat, and tears in my business. The place opened in January of '90. We have done nothing but employ people and be a good citizen, a good vendor for this town. I work for the city. I work for the parish. I take care of the fire department. Call the chiefs and ask them what I do. I'm shaking. I'm so mad right now because all I hear is this nonsense about don't know. A good day to ask questions on the 19th. Who spends $4.2 million on a $3 million on its best day business, not knowing the permit's already made? Who? We have free money out here? My tax dollars is given away? I don't understand this at all. The fix is in, and nobody seems to care. No one's upset because it's out of sight and out of mind. My place is going to be broken into. My place is broken into steady. Y'all can't even make a police call less than 20 minutes. Y'all can't even police the area because you don't have the manpower and you don't care. Y'all don't know none of the problems I'll put up with, but I can promise you, when you turn it into a cesspool down there, you don't have the money to clean it up. The city can. New Orleans, Baton Rouge. Baton Rouge has our tax dollars. The city makes the money. We poor. Our parish is poor and our city is poor. And y'all gonna let a cesspool start at the end of the city? And Mr. Wells, you are right again. The shopping carts are gonna be stole. They're gonna be pushed up and down the middle of Morrison Boulevard, left. People are gonna have accidents. And I am not gonna be the only one broken into in my customers' vehicles. Batteries stole, TV stole. All your mobile home places there are gonna go. And you're gonna lose Circle K. They so big, they don't care about Hammond. That's a big tax. I promise you, you better check. I see the fuel that's sold there. I see the investment they made there. And y'all are just nonchalant about it. The good question is on the 19th. The 19th is the okie doke. The 19th is the okie doke. Let's walk through and let's say this is where we're going to put our place. This is how we're going to police it. Oh, we won't let them be bad. When they throw them out, where are they going to go? Councilman Andrews, where are they going to go? They're going to go down into the city. They're going to cross over into the 1, 2, 3, 4 mobile home places and break in and sleep because they've been thrown out of their place for using drugs or prostitution. You know how I know all this? Because in the middle of Ida, their facility was damaged heavily. They brought them over to that place, and all I found was needles, condoms, and breaking into my property, into my businesses, and nobody cared. I couldn't get enough police protection. I called the city. I called the parish president. I finally got the sheriff to give me a few extra deputies. I called the commander of Troop L. He started parking his units in front of my place. And it slowed it down a little bit until they finally got out of there. And it wasn't even permanent, gentlemen, ladies. It wasn't even permanent. Y'all talking about making something permanent. How are you going to get rid of it once it's done? You're going to go in there and say, ooh, y'all not obeying the rules. You're not listening. You're turning our city into a slum. It's too late, and y'all know it. Once it happens, it's over. And no one can turn it back. And all of y'all get to go home to your houses. I have to decide if I can stay in business in this city. I have to decide if I'm going to keep 23 people employed. And I have to decide if my investment was worth it. And again, the Riccattas have been here before most of y'all. And this is the result I hear. I've been sitting back there so mad. Please do something about it. Why wasn't this ordinance kept? This would have given us 180 days at least to talk about it and see if it made sense for our city, if it made sense for our citizens. Does anyone care?
I do.
That's why you're laughing? Mr. Leon?
I care.
You the one vetoed this. You voted against this. Go to the Circle K. Go to the racetrack and buy a tank of fuel. Actually, don't buy it. Just pull up like you're going to and go inside the door and see what your panhandlers are doing right now without a homeless center. You turn it into a cesspool, and when it's done, you don't have the money to clean it up. Unless y'all got money I don't know about. And again, who pays $4.2 million for a place worth $3 on its best day? I am a property owner right next to it. I own 8 acres to their 3. I know what my property's worth. I know what I invested. And they're going to just do that without knowing that y'all all agreed? And I ain't making accusations. Somebody give them the okie doke in this council, in this administration. Someone give them the okie doke. It's okay, we won't hate it. And this gentleman's here saying it's zoned a motel, which has been since the day it was built, because I've been there before it was built, my family and my property. It was a motel with a proper restaurant, proper reception area. They had weddings. My nephew got married there. The same zoning for homeless as truly, sir? It's the same zoning for a homeless shelter as a motel that people come in, stay a few days and leave? Permanent homes, housing is the same? That's our city charter? That's how we run this city? I apologize for being upset. My livelihood's on the line. I've made my personal life investment here. Most of the Riccattas have. Y'all know the name. It's very unfortunate what I'm hearing. Thank y'all.
Let me just say this, council, so there's no misunderstandings. All that's apparently happened has been a private sale of property from one landowner to another landowner. The city doesn't get involved in the exchange of property. You're free to sell your property to anybody here, and you're free to buy property. What you choose to pay for the property is the choice of the buyer. I'm not aware that any city money has been used to purchase this property, so no city money has been invested. There's talk. I've got phone calls, talk. I don't know what's proposed. It's talked about a homeless shelter. There's no applications that have been submitted. Nothing's been provided. Whatever application is submitted must meet the rules. The zoning, sir, I don't know what it's zoned. I know it's been used for a hotel. I've not been asked to look into it because it hasn't hit my radar screen. I've not been asked to do anything, Mr. Ricotta. So my suggestion is if January 19th is going to be a meeting, that's the place to go, because with its lots of questions, but there's no answers. That would be the place to start with figuring out what the owner does propose for this. Up until this point, neither the council nor the administration has been asked to address this question. It's just not been addressed.
I've never intended and never said the city spent a penny. The Homeless Commission had it in the Daily Star. They got it from the state. $2 million. 2.2 million, don't know where it came from. Not our business, you're right. But it will affect us permanently. It will affect us permanently. And I don't see a homeless shelter the same as a motel. I don't see a homeless shelter where people will be there being possibly thrown out. Where are they going to go? Where does Tipcross send their people? Where does Kentwood send their homeless? Where does Livingston and St. Helena? They do not have one homeless shelter. They're going to drop them right there at the end of South Morrison. They're going to put them right here in the city of Hammond. And y'all going to have to figure out how to deal with it, and you don't have the money. And it's going to be too late then, because you've already let it be established. That's what's going to happen, and we all know it. Not one homeless shelter, starting with Kentwood, all the way over St. Helena and Livingston Parish down, does not have a homeless shelter, because we're smart, and we've been smart. As a parish, all three of us, St. Helena, Livingston, and Tangipahoa has not had a homeless shelter because it doesn't work out. No one will police it. No one will take it and look up to it and make them listen to proper accordance. And when it's all fell apart, what are we going to do about it? Where are y'all going to get the funding from? That's all I want to know what you're going to do. We don't have to police the city. Right there, they probably sleeping on the street in another couple hours, right there, downtown. You can't police the city, and you're going to police the outskirts?
Well, again, I'd just like to thank both of you for coming, and at least we're finding out information about this that we had no clue about. Well, at least I didn't.
Y'all didn't have a clue.
Well,
You shouldn't be able to buy nothing in this town without being asked like that, if it's going to be a business.
okay.
Well, Mr. Ricardo, I appreciate you coming up, and I appreciate you speaking out, and you feel the way I feel. And what's so sad about it, representatives of our area, every elected official in our area, those the ones need to come to the meeting. Those the ones let it take place. Those the ones got the money for the shelter. And the problem is, nobody gonna say it, those the ones be eating off of it, because somebody in the family gonna do the construction work over there. See, this is the part be left out. And you know what? Those the ones that don't stay over there. Those the ones that don't have business there. That's one of the biggest issues we've been having. It ain't just started. It's been taking place. And now, everything just chaos. If it's money involved, you can do it. I can do it if it's money involved. So, you all, everybody out here, even the councilman, the mayor, we need to reach out to every elected official, because those the ones we voted for to put them in office. Those the ones we need to see. And just like you look at me in my eyes, those the ones we need to look in their eyes and let them know, are you okay with this? Are you okay with this? And then we'll know for the next go-round, take care of our business better than what we've been doing. Thank you so much for you all coming out and speaking about it, because, you know, I can talk about it, but you all, we heard y'all got the business in the area, gonna be affected. From the day it started, it gonna affect y'all from day one.
Well, Mr. Wells, just for the record, sir, I did start at the top. Robbie Miller was my first phone call. And he was the first one that said he had no clue about it either. I started at the top of my parishes. He's top of command. I started there. He called me back. And then, of course, the mayor's heard from me several times, and the mayor's been responsive. But the responses have made me say what is going on in my great city.
Little-
I'm proud to be a Hammond. My family's proud to be part of this city. We've
Yeah.
never done nothing but support it. And I see it, the management of it going straight to you know where. It's going downhill. I don't understand. We're supposed to have more authority and more understanding in this town.
Well, as Andre said, we didn't know anything about the sale. You actually were the one who enlightened me on that. Little Charlie had called me because we knew, or at least we thought we knew, they had no parking at all. So that was brought to their attention. So until you told me at the end of last week that this thing had actually sold and I was able to call Debbie, who you have dealt with, the title company, we didn't know that it was even purchased. So that's where it stands right now.
I want to thank you and everybody who came to discuss their concerns. You know, I am a little puzzled, you know, about that's a large investment for anybody. Maybe we're not talking about a $5,000 lot in Hammond, or a little residential sale, but a large development of that size and amount of money that's going to be invested over there. It is scary to me to think that how does the city administrator, somebody in the city does not know about anything about it, and it is really scary how that could happen to this point. And because I don't know, I mean, I've just, it's a lot of money. Maybe it's not a lot of money, I don't know, but to everybody, but that's $4.5 million just to invest in something without having one conversation with any building official of any kind of that magnitude with coming in, and so, but anyways, hopefully, it all worked out, but I appreciate you coming, but I do care about this city, and and hopefully, representatives will start waking up and actually, and stepping forth and seeing the concerns and figuring this out. Thank you.
Other council reports. Before we adjourn, go for an adjournment, the Wilbur Dangerfield Award ceremony will be coming up next month at the end of February. However, our first meeting in February does fall on Fat Tuesday. And the city will be closed on that day. So we need to be thinking about if we're going to either cancel that meeting or reschedule it to another date. So that's an option to be thrown out there, but we need to put someone appointee to oversee the Wilbur Dangerfield Award.
I give my person to you. You can pick my person.
And we need somebody from the council to be the overseer of that committee.
We've always done it.
What
You wanna
about
do
you?
it?
All right, okay. I just had to put it out there. All right,
You do such a good job, Kip.
thank you. All right. Well, can I get a motion to adjourn?
So moved.
Meeting
Second.
adjourned. Wow. I had no clue that they was.